Okay, well, hopefully we're roughly center screen. Um, Tried to get a little bit of scenery in this shot. So this is number 60 of 60. Um, I think that I had sort of hoped that I would be ending things, mostly me being the things that I was hoping to have ended at this point. I think that was the target. Um, Initially, and that is not where we're at currently. Maybe 63 of 60. We'll get there. Um, I'm not so sure. Especially, yeah, at this point, I don't know. I wanted to talk about quite a bit as far as like what's happened over the last year, but not a lot has really happened. And I don't know how much I really have to say. I was up, I was down, I was up, I was down. I um, have had really good moments and some really rough ones. I took a lot of chances and I failed a lot of times. I still think I'm heavy on the gambling side as far as like continually risking everything and just hoping that something works out blindly. And I don't know that that is the best way to live. And I might have backed myself into a bad corner where I do feel the need to end things at some point sooner than would naturally be the case. Um, but when I look at what's going on and when I look at myself in the mirror and when I um, think about like what could potentially happen here, and I just realize like it's never going to be enough, and I'm never going to feel okay. I don't think like I have gotten in good shape over the last year, which should be the case. Like that is not an achievement really. Um, but I also realize that I feel very out of shape and very disgusting and gross and blah blah blah. Uh, Despite the fact that if I was in the shape that I'm in now a year ago, I would have felt really good about myself. Um, uh, Similarly, with the school thing, it's like the idea of going for my master's is just like was not even in my brain at all. Um, and so the fact that that could potentially happen would be amazing, even if it is a long shot. It's just like it was never even a thought because it was just so unrealistic having to do another whatever 4 years of university, something like that, in Canada. So there's that. But again, same thing. It's like even if I get it, I will tell myself that it is meaningless and it doesn't count and it's not an achievement. All because I did it in 1 year instead of four or whatever. And that I'll have done it on the other side of the world and it doesn't really count and like whatever. And so I don't really know how to get out of that trap. And I definitely feel more and more like an imposter and a failure the more I think about my career and the more that I sit in all of the mistakes that I've made and failures that I've had and just how poorly I've handled things and how I've lived my life, whatever. So I don't know that there's a way out of it for me where I'm ever going to be able to look in the mirror today and feel okay about what I'm looking at. And so I don't really know what to do about that. Like I don't know whether to accept that or whatever. So yeah. Yeah. So that's where I'm at with my achievements, I guess. I've spent a good portion of the year in the gym and eating healthy, although the last few days in Malaysia have definitely not been healthy. There's an abundance of junk food here. And convenience is the name of the game. Much like Hong Kong, I would say architecturally maybe Malaysia is doing a little bit better than Hong Kong, but I Hong Kong definitely has the scenery. It's nice everywhere you look. Yeah, both are definitely worth visiting. I went to the Twin Towers last night, and I was not that interested in going to see it because from looking far away, it just is. It's just a couple pointy buildings, but at night it's lit up and it looks very amazing up close and like the park area around it and fountains and all the shopping centers and stuff like it's definitely worth walking to see. And all the malls even like there's it's like every mall is like a better version of West Edmonton Mall almost. Like they all have like these giant play zones for kids with like rides and stuff, and toy shops and game shops and anime and movie theaters and food every like it's definitely like it's very kid and family friendly without being like a resort. So it is kind of interesting. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I've been to back to Thailand. I had an amazing time. All of like the resentments and things that I had previously, I just didn't really experience up in Chiang Mai. I didn't go back to like the coast where I was before, like Utapao and Chonburi and Sarajevo and all that. But um, but yeah, it was a wonderful experience. Vietnam is what it is. It's still ridiculously cheap, and I think that you get accustomed to it very quickly, maybe, but it's absurdly cheap there. But like, there's a lot of things. Like Thailand is cheap in Chiang Mai too, and and Malaysia's not that expensive where I'm at. Anyways, um, yeah, yeah. So there is lots of cheap options here. Um, what else? Um, I've started hunting for rare Pokemon cards for my nephew. Although I'm not very good at keeping track of the things that I buy, so I may have already lost some that I spent time looking for. So I'm gonna work at keeping a better handle on that. But I did find some. It's funny. There's some like random rare stuff that probably cost absolutely nothing when they first came out. But so that's given me something to do. I backed myself into a corner financially and time wise and work wise and visa wise and travel wise. I have lit the fuse on my life for sure. Um, and I keep breaking my phone. It's getting fixed right now, also. So I don't know. I swear. I think I broke it twice in Canada, and then again in Vietnam, and yeah, now again. So it's progressively like I probably have bought a new phone at this point already. Um, yeah. So I managed to completely obliterate my life, my savings, my connections to family, um, friends. I burnt everything to the ground, and I have nothing to show for it. And I'm still alive, so I haven't achieved any any of my goals as far as solving the problem of me. Um, yeah, I, I don't know. I like the question of like who do you want to be? It's like I'm pretty sure when I was 32, I was everything I had imagined I would ever want to be. And so 12 years later, I am so far away from that, and I have nothing to show for it. Um, yeah. Um, yeah, no closer to any solutions in my life. More questions than answers, and no direction. And now I just record myself saying I don't know what I'm doing every day as I slowly make every problem worse and worse and worse. Yeah, so that's my life. That is my life. Um, yeah, when you disappear for a year, I think the goal is that you would improve in some way. And if I knew what I knew now a year ago, I might be in a very different place. But maybe not. Maybe I would have just made things worse in a different way. I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Um, yeah. Still gotta get to England somehow. Uh, Going to Cairo in England. Um, would be nicer if I was traveling light, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure out whether or not that makes more sense to keep things here, or not. Have to decide on that. Hmm. Yeah, I really hoped that I would be profoundly wiser a year later. Um, but I'm still struggling in the same ways. A lot of the same things, uh, and a lot of new problems that I don't have answers for. So, hmm yeah, I don't know that I've made anything better with my choices. But yeah. So right now, for me, the goal is to get approved to do my masters, and then I would have to come back October, November, December, um, and then be ready for January. So that is life. But I have no idea if any of that's going to work, and I should be looking for a job also. So I have to make a plan around that. Which, again, most of the things I talk about, I just avoid because there's a low chance of success, which means a high chance of failure, which means if I don't do anything, I can pretend it would have worked out if I tried. It would have been nice to find out more about who I am in the last year. And I don't know that I have answered that question at all, really. So, yeah, lost and not found. well, sometimes you take risks and you lose, and maybe this is just me losing over and over and over and over and over. Anyways, we'll see what happens if there's another one tomorrow. Maybe I will make another one tomorrow. But regardless, I will be trying to do better again tomorrow. All right.